I spent $150 just to save 1 pound in my backpack. No, that's not an exaggeration. My name's Erin, and I'm a travel photographer and content creator based in New York City. Welcome to my channel. I've never been more stressed packing for a trip than when I was packing for the Camino de Santiago. I travel a lot, so normally I can throw everything together in under an hour because I've got a system, but this was different. When hiking the Camino, the rule of thumb is to not carry more than 10% of your body weight because your rucksack will start to feel like a boulder when you're walking 15 miles a day. I was trying so hard to stick to this percentage, I was literally weighing each piece of clothing on a food scale. Initially, I was planning to use my Osprey Fairview 40L, which has been sitting in my closet since 2019 when I went to Lapland for the first time chasing the northern lights. I don't know how I did it, but back then I somehow crammed a week's worth of winter gear into this thing. So for that trip, you wanted to maximize, but for the Camino, it's a little bit different. On top of that, I decided I wasn't pre-booking accommodations. I can hear the Type A's clutching their pearls. That was a deliberate choice to challenge myself to have an authentic pilgrimage experience. On one hand, it gives me the freedom to stop wherever I want, but on the other hand, it means I have to keep all my stuff with me at all times. If my pack was too heavy, I'd be stuck hauling the consequences every single mile. That's why every ounce matters. So to have it should be all tightened up, sitting comfortably above your hips or on your hips, and I feel like a turtle in this. The outfit you wear to the airport doesn't count towards your pack weight, but the Fairview alone already weighs 3.4 pounds, which left me with less than 10 pounds for my stuff, not including water. So it's about 9 kilograms, so about 18 pounds. But for the purposes of the Camino, I don't think I want to use this. So I'm going to sell it, and then the difference I make in that will cover the cost of the Tempest. So at the last minute, I panic bought the Osprey Tempest 33L. It's smaller, lighter, and it forced me to cut things down even further. I am sweating from all the packing and unpacking. I am stressed. I felt delirious last night and the night before just because of the overthinking of packing for this. Packing is supposed to be fun. At this point, I was like, you're thinking this way, just gotta accept what you're bringing or really cut things out. For me, I'm not willing to cut certain things out. I have cut out a lot of things, don't get me wrong, but I am firm on this. So I'm trusting my body to be strong enough because I do work out a lot, and the point is not a race, it's to meander, to enjoy the journey. And I really need to work on that for myself. So this is what I'm going with. Let's pack the Tempest. What I like about this bag, it's made for body types like mine, body types that are shorter. And I like that it's a vertical versus the Fairview, which was like a duffel bag. So first up, I'm putting these in plastic bags too, because in case of rain, which I think this is waterproof, at the bare minimum resistant, I hope. But I'm also fearful of bed bugs. I have lived through bed bugs. So worst case, I will have to throw everything out. But if I can protect things, this doesn't weigh much. So I'm bringing a packable jacket rather than a fleece or a hoodie or a zip-up sweater. A liner, everyone says to bring a liner. I think a lot of the places I'm gonna be staying at will provide sheets, but I'm gonna bring this just in case. And then a cover for the bag if it rains. I was gonna double up and have a poncho, but I waterproofed my jacket, and I have a disposable poncho. If I need to get another disposable one, so be it. Just hoping it won't rain. Also using this inner pocket to put a camelback. I rarely use camelbacks, even when I go raving, I rarely use it because walking 15 miles a day, don't know where you're gonna be able to get water. It's better to have more than less. It's actually not even the walk itself that I'm worried about, it's when you're in town. So just to have a reservoir of water is important. So that's gonna obviously add a few more pounds onto this pack. Next, shoes. I am bringing a pair of flip-flops for the showers. I bring this wherever I travel anyway. And then a pair of tevas for after the walk. I've seen a lot of people say that you actually just walk more with chacos and teva, your sandals more so because your feet expands in the sneakers. We'll see. So if that ends up being the case, then maybe next time I do another Camino, I will just bring sandals. I did think about cutting out the flip-flops to save on weight, but because I'm also be going to London before Spain, I don't want to be walking around in wet chacos there for the bathroom. Clothes, I really cut down on the clothes. I was gonna originally bring 3 shirts. I cut out one of the nice shirts. The nice clothes will be what I'm wearing to the airport. So I'm bringing 1 pair of athletic wear, leggings, and a dry fit t-shirt. PJs, t-shirt, and linen pants, a pair of shorts, just in case it's too hot, that I could also use if I want to walk, but I'll probably not. and then a base layer for the shirt in case it's cold. And then 3 pairs of underwear, 3 pairs of socks, and the microfiber towel. The socks are a wool pair, compression, and then a dry fit one that I'm gonna be wearing to the airport. A tripod because I'm bringing my camera. I thought a lot about it if I was just gonna use my phone, but because I'm going to multiple locations and I wanna capture it with that depth of field that you can only get from a camera, an iPhone is perfectly fine. I just wanna capture things with a camera too. Non-negotiable. And it'll probably bite me in the ass on the walk. Toiletries, electronics. I did cut down on this too because I'm bringing a camera and I shoot a lot of video on camera. I needed an ND filter. So originally I used Polar Pro. It comes in a metal case, which was pretty heavy. So I just put it in this baggie to save on space. So wherever I can get rid of the minuscule weight, which does add up, I get rid of those so that I can be able to bring the bigger things. Also an adapter and power bank. And I think this design is slightly weird. It took me the longest time to figure out, but I guess it works. I personally prefer where these push, but you have to pull, and it took me the longest time to figure it out. Like I felt stupid. So we also got pockets on the top. This part does make it feel a little top heavy. Put in here, carabiner, S-hook, a bag that I'll use for grocery shopping if I need to, and also for the showers if there's nowhere to put my clothes and you just hang it from there. I see people bring utensils. I'm bringing chopsticks just in case, because if I stay in albergue and I'm eating inside instead of eating out, although the plan is to eat outside. I want to eat at the restaurants. That's part of the fun. Have a bunch of cafe stuff. So I'm bringing it just in case. Otherwise, I would never travel with utensils, although I should. First aid kit and multivitamins, electrolytes. I'm bringing B12 Super B complex. Apparently that has electrolytes, so I didn't need to get electrolyte packets, but I couldn't return it. Better be hydrated than dehydrated. There's also a front pocket. I am bringing masks. I still carry and wear masks. And then feminine products, Kleenex. I can't live without Kleenex. I blow my nose all the time. Got a post-nasal drip. I like this little clasp. And then this on top. And one more pocket up here. So I'll put like wipes, wet wipes, hand soap, doggy bags, sunglasses, and prunes. I do not travel without prunes anymore. If you know, you know. I think they're a great snack, but they help when you travel. I eat at least 3 prunes every day. That's it. So this is with the Tempest. Again, it's about 1 pound lighter. So compared to the Fairview, I don't feel like a turtle. It feels more streamlined, feels more comfortable in the way the weight is being distributed. After trimming everything, there were items I packed that I ended up barely touching during my Camino. Most items were used in rotation though. Buying a new backpack was exactly what I didn't want to do, but it was the right call. Yeah, I think I'm gonna just sell this one. I'm not doing any backpacking trips across Southeast Asia. I have not touched this bag in years. I've only used it once when I went to Lapland, so. I ended up being able to sell the Fairview within a week, and that covered a good chunk of the cost of the Tempest. These backpacks move quickly on secondhand sites. In the end, I did the Camino with just that 33L backpack. I didn't use a courier service at any point, didn't buy any hiking poles. It was just me and my bag. Knowing that I can manage everything myself made the journey feel a lot more authentic and lighter than I ever expected. If you want the exact packing list I used for the Camino, I've linked a free download in the description. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.